Alright, I'm making this video so everyone can see my bald head. Not really, just kidding. What I'm doing is complaining about this shit. Seriously. Like, everybody in the fucking world seems to want to give everybody good reviews for, I don't know, brownie points, whatever. They don't want to sound negative. I'm sick of it. Sick of all these false reviews. Overwhelmingly positive. You people are idiots. I'm going to show you why. Dwarf Fortress is a horrible, horrible, atrocious game. No way in the world this game should have good positive game. It feels like you're playing a game that's in alpha, you know, like you paid for early access, not a fully released game like it claims to be. I deleted my first world because I had problems. I didn't delete the second world because I thought maybe I could save it. And then the third world, I have the exact same problem. So all three worlds have the exact same problem. And as far as I can tell, just because the game sucks. Okay, so I'm going to load this. And I have it so when I load a game, it pauses. You can set that in the settings. But this game is a trivial game as far as my computer is concerned. Okay, so we'll go over why I can't finish a world later. But let's just go over, let's review this game. Let's figure out why people are giving this a good review. Okay, because I don't think it deserves it at all. Okay, what we got going on this floor. So when I scroll with my mouse wheel, I go up and down a layer. So this, when I scroll down, I'm going deeper into the world. I'm at elevation level 9. As you can see over here on the bottom of the mini map. And then as I scroll up, I'm getting higher into the elevation. So higher up in the world. And I'm getting to elevation 16. You know, this is supposed to be a cliffy area where I started. So the elevation is kind of high, but not really that high. I think I started off at elevation 19. Yeah, elevation 19. And then I kind of, there's a river that was already going through here. And then I just modified it. And it was falling off right here. It was a natural waterfall. And then I wanted to build my fort on the edge of that. I thought that would be pretty cool. Cool, right? Yeah, it's pretty much garbage. Let's go into why this game is horrible. Okay, so here's a lot of animals I own. I at one point had 200 dwarves multiple different times, but they keep dying because they suck and they're stupid. One of the reasons why they keep dying is because they will walk into the waterfall. Okay, so when you click this double arrow thing over here, this lets you set traffic zones. By default, it's this. So if I do this, no change. If I do this, high traffic. Everybody walk through here, please. Okay, that's what that means. Everybody walk through here. Go like this, back to normal. Back to normal. This is, you know what, you can walk through here, but try to avoid that. This is, don't walk through here. Supposedly, at least according to these things, set a restricted traffic area. Citizens will look hard for a better route. But they don't. They absolutely do not. I set it on this level where the water is, this level where the water is, yet they still happen to walk into this water, get caught in the court, go into the waterfall, and drown to death. Okay, I have no way of recovering these bodies yet because I haven't been able to drain this river. Okay, now I didn't set no walk over here because that's not where they're falling in from. They're falling in from this waterfall. They get in this waterfall, they fall in. Or they'll get into this waterfall and then they'll fall in and they die. That's why all the dead bodies are right here at the bases of these waterfalls. I've done everything I can do to get them to not do that, but they still keep doing it because they're dumb. Really dumb. And it's annoying. So dwarves will kill themselves and you have no control over it. Absolutely none. Because of pathing issues. Next issue, I'm going to talk about bedrooms. So this is my start of my bedrooms. Okay, so I'm making bedrooms here. As you can see, I am not finished. This will eventually all be bedrooms. Why do I have so many bedrooms? Because I have 200 dwarves. I can't stop dwarves from coming here because more will migrate the better you're doing in the game. If you're doing good, more dwarves. So eventually you'll hit 200. If you're doing horrible, then maybe you'll stay under 100. Maybe, if you're lucky. I hate having dwarves. Okay, the more dwarves, the more people. Like, how am I supposed to get a good relationship with 200 make-believe characters? That's pretty stupid. You can't stop them from coming. They come. If you're doing good. Period. Okay, they just show up as an event. You'll get it over here, and it's like, there are some dwarves that's joined your settlement. You can't turn them away. You can't do anything. If you don't want more dwarves, well, too bad. You get them. So you need to make bedrooms for all of them, or you have a whole bunch of angry dwarves like I do, because I don't have enough bedrooms for them. Now, there's other reasons why they're angry, and I'll go over some of that, but let me just show you how horrible and hard. So this floor obviously still has mud and dirt and fungus. So this is dense floor of fungus and things, and they don't like sleeping on that. They'd rather sleep on a bed. They don't choose to sleep on the beds because I can't figure out why. I'll show you what I'm talking about later on that aspect. But let's go ahead, let's make a bedroom. Let's make a bedroom in this empty corridor that will eventually be a bedroom. Right now it's mud floor. Okay, so I'm gonna hit accept, but I'm not gonna accept if I go like this and I hit, I forgot to click again, and I hit accept. You notice there's only one bed symbol here. This is technically the same bedroom. Okay, so for me to make a lot of bedrooms at once, I have to do this. Okay, so click 1, 2, 3. I think I counted that wrong. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks. I made one bedroom. Oh, I'm actually not done. I need to assign a dwarf to it. So let's assign a dwarf. So this green here means he has a bedroom. I have lots of dwarfs. As we get further down, you'll see that the further down I have, the less rooms are being assigned. But yes, whatever. Now, if I leave this, eventually a dwarf will maybe assign himself to a bedroom, but I can also click assign. Now, this isn't the true all the time, like for dining rooms. Dwarves never assign themselves to dining room, or an office. They might go use an office, but they won't ever assign themselves one. But whatever. And over here, this lets you know that this dwarf has a bedroom. This one doesn't. This one has a dining room. That one doesn't. So forth. Okay. Check means he wants it. Yellow means needs it, or whatever. I think but we'll go over some of that crap later. So I've made 2 bedrooms. Really crappy bedrooms because they're in mud, and I don't want dwarves to assign themselves to that, so we're just going to get rid of them. So let's go over here to a bedroom that is in progress. Okay, so I've assigned the area because I got floors here. Now let's go over how do I make a bed in here. Okay, well, first thing you gotta do is you gotta get a whole bunch of resources. I'm not gonna go over that, but next you gotta do is you gotta click this, click that, click carpenter, click that, click what resource you want to build it out of. There you go, another billion clicks. Okay, I'm going to cancel that because I already got a couple of those buildings, and they are right here. So once the building's built, next thing you got to do is you got to queue up a bed. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click first. You got to click this thing. Yeah, if there's other things standing on top of it, like this, then you got like the stack view, so you can have even more clicks. But it's stupid annoying. Then you go add task, you go make bed, and then do that forever because you'll never make enough beds for all 200 people because you need a lot. And then you're going to go all the way down here to my, oops, I think it passed my living quarters. There, my living quarters. And then I'm going to say, I want to make a bed now. Now, how do I get the bed into this spot? Is I got to click here, click furniture, click bed, and click it. So, and then I got to choose which bed I want. Let's do the one with the green. Okay. Now, the reason I put 2 beds in there, because if a dwarf is married or whatever, or has a kid, they'll oftentimes share a room, but not indefinitely. Most likely, you can get away with like 5 beds short of your population, from what I've seen. Of course, this is only my 3rd game, so maybe that number is completely wrong if you work on their relationships or stuff. But I haven't figured out how to make dwarves like each other or have relationships. I think that's completely, you have no control over that. You gotta make them work in the same area, and you could do that by setting like these stupid working zones, which nobody does that I know of, because yeah, it's just stupid, and your zone would always constantly be changing. Instead, most people set up a single zone that they usually pause whenever they want their dwarves in there. So if you're being attacked, you unpause it or whatever, and you have all your dwarves run back to your base. Now, right now, there's actually none assigned, but because 5 were assigned when they died, this number will always be incorrect. And I'm not remaking this zone because it's way too tedious. I had to go through a number of floors to make that even, and I didn't even make it. And I don't go up here and update it every single time I expand, because it is tedious, painful work. But what I usually do is I'll come in here and I'll assign all 95 people, which will put them inside my fort, hopefully, which most of the time they don't listen. And I'll assign all my soldiers so that they run back to their fort. Then I'll come up here and I'll tell them to pull this lever, and the majority of the time, my dwarves don't even attempt to get back into the fort, don't attempt to get into this only work zone, even though I say, hey, this right here, do not take anything outside of this work zone, only inside. Doesn't matter if I have this toggled on or off, it makes no difference. Dwarves do not come back in. And so I can never get these levers to pull up my drawbridges, and my defenses are basically pointless because of it. It is retard mode. 9,000. But back to constructing the bed. Once you get the bed going, oh, I can go in here and give the bed a specific material too, if I wanted made out of that. So much garbage. All right, so that's what you got to do for a bed. Okay. Then you gotta go in here and say I want a chair in this bedroom. Okay, gotta do that for a chair now. Now what? Oops, see, my menu closed. Now I gotta go back in here and I gotta go. I want a bookshelf in this bedroom. I'm gonna click this. That will make this bookshelf menu not close. Oh, but now I want to click something else, right? No, you gotta go back in here, redo that. Doesn't help. Chest. Oh wait, I don't have a chest made right now. I have them queued, they're just not making them fast because I got too much other things. So you gotta do that for every single furniture item. Other things that you need to think about when you're looking at your bedroom is you click on this bed. Like, I want to click on this bed and I want to see the quality of this bed. Do I get to see the quality of the bed? No, I gotta come down here and click another button for no reason to see the quality of the bed. This bed has 3 bars and its value is at 30. Now let's go over here and look at this one. This bed is much higher value. It's 50 and it's got a star. Okay? So the quality of the bed, so the dwarf skills based on whether he's a good carpenter. He's not. He's just dabbling, which means he's barely started working on it. That skill. If he would make it, he'd probably make a crappy bed. If he was adequate, then maybe he'd make a good one. But yes, so You gotta worry about the quality of your bedroom because that will also make them more happy. So you're gonna want to go through here eventually and get rid of all the beds that were not made as good or lower quality, so you can make these guys happy. Or you can just fill it up with a whole bunch of beds, like literally just put in more beds. If this room was full of beds, the quality adds. These are all additive. So this quality value, whether it's low or not, doesn't matter. It's added to whatever this quality bed value is, which is pretty low because it's a $23 bed value or whatever. It's only 23. That's one of the lowest you can get. And yeah, then you'll just fill it up and they'll make them happy. Just fill it up with as much furniture as you can. Make the bedroom bigger, put more furniture in there. They got more expensive bedrooms. That's what makes them happy. Totally tedious because you got to do that for all 200 fucking dwarves. And who wants to do that 200 times? Not I. I attempted to. It is a freaking pain. Okay, that's bedrooms. How about these other ones? Dining rooms or office. Your dwarves need those things too, right? Well, unlike a bedroom, dwarves will not assign themselves to a dining room or an office. So what you got to do is you got to click on this, and then manually click on one of these guys. And if you click on one of these guys, like I'm going to click on Augnet, okay? Augnet is now assigned to this one, okay? What if I assign Augnet to this one, okay? Now he's assigned to both, all right? And the person I had assigned here is no longer assigned to any freaking bedroom. See, there he is. You can only have one assigned, but you could have multiple of those guys assigned here. So if you accidentally click and whatever. Other thing is I can't filter this. I can't filter this to be, hey, show me the unassigned bedrooms. I can remove it or I can scroll. Okay. While we're on these crappy menus, let me show you. Let's click these guys. You know what? It'd be easier to show if I do this. I'm gonna make a new military captain. So that way, come over here, make a new squad, click that new military captain. Doesn't really matter at this point because I'm just showing you something else. I'm gonna assign a position. Okay, this guy, he's a proficient wrestler. He's an expert swordsman. I don't really have anybody else with any qualities for this. So what I'm gonna do is scroll down here and pretend I'm looking for somebody I know I don't have. Just see if I can find somebody who's proficient. Now this yellow means he's assigned to a different squad already. Okay, let's say I get halfway down here and I go, oh, I finally found somebody. Let's say pretend he's competent. Okay, you see where my mouse scroll bar is? I'm gonna click him. Oh, now I need to assign somebody to the next position. It automatically moved me back to the top. I now have to scroll all the way down or remember where the scroll bar was or whatever, and then scroll back up. And then if I so happen to click this one, let's say, now one of my other squads, okay, this charity crafting squad or whatever, they're now missing soldiers, okay? So now if I go back in here, oh, maybe not. Oh, that was the wrong one. It's charity. Yeah, well, so they're not missing. Now they're assigned to both squads, okay? And if you have them on the same training schedule, yeah, it's bad news because then that guy will be training forever, which I guess some people like. So, yeah, that's dining room. Now, somebody might say, well, if you have to create a dining room and bedroom and office and all these things for your dwarves, why don't you create them in the same spot? Well, I'll show you what happens when you do that, okay? Let's say I'm going to take this room, this bedroom, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dining room in here. I'm going to hit accept. Overlapping dining hall. You can't have this guy's bedroom and dining hall overlap. So they gotta be in separate locations anyways. Now I could click on this, I suppose, and paint, and then remove these 2 blocks, so now those don't count as his bedroom. And then make a dining room. Okay, dining room. Okay, so right here, this is the other thing, is I didn't unclick this eraser. It's now clicked on there. So I have to declick it. Sometimes you're like, well, why am I not drawing? Because the UI is dumb. All right, and then I could have a bedroom in my bedroom. I mean, a dining room in my bedroom. Technically, they're separate zones, but you do that. I don't really feel like it because I need a table and a chair, and they have to be separate zones, and there's more clicking because it's not going to be a perfect square. I have to shape it funny. I guess you could do it efficiently, but to me, this was more efficient, and it's still tedious. It's stupid. It's painful. So you can't have these overlap because then you get this stupid overlapping error, and then they're not happy. You defeat the purpose of making the bedroom in the first place because now they're unhappy because it's not actually a bedroom. It doesn't count as a bedroom even if they're assigned to it. Okay, right. So some zones can overlap and work fine. Other ones can't. You just gotta figure it out. So you can't overlap, like, where is it? This is my inn. This is my tavern, the Apple of Constructs. I didn't name it that. It just got named that by a dwarf eventually. This was what the name I gave it was the Lookout because these are arrow slits, and I try to get my guards to come up here and shoot whenever I'm in siege, but that never works. Then I got this area right here. This is a dormitory where anybody who's not assigned a bedroom is supposed to come sleep, and they never do. What you'll find them doing is they'll come over here and they'll fall asleep in the river and then get pushed off and die. They'll fall asleep in the mud. They'll fall asleep while they're mining down here, and then they'll be angry because they slept in the mud. Even though I have this nice, expansive dormitory that everybody can use. I've seen 1 or 2 dwarves use this, ever. The rest of them have never used it. It's kind of pointless. It's a waste of beds. I'll eventually, maybe 1 click to get rid of these beds. I have to come in here, click remove on every single freaking one of these. Okay. And then I gotta wait for a dwarf to come remove them before I can move them to these bedrooms that I've been making. Not really worth it. I would rather just wait for new beds to be made. Okay, more zoning issues. Okay, this is a cemetery. These things have to be built underground, so I can't do this outside. Let's say if they want a cemetery outside, that's a no-go. Because you can't build a casket out here. So I'll just show you. Furniture, burial, casket. Right here. This must be inside. That's the error message it gives you. So I guess maybe I should explain where the error message is. Maybe you guys missed it. So right here, I see this blocked at this location because you can't build it in the water. Blocked at this location. And then right here it says must be inside. So if I click, it's not actually doing anything. Now if I go down, it's saying buildings present. So I can build it here because this is inside. This has a roof. This is the roof over that area. If I go up, you can see the ground under it. It's kind of grayed out because that's whatever. Now I can get higher and higher and it gets further away. But so you have to build these inside. The other stupid thing is when you build them, you got to set a tune. Okay. Now if I do this and I hit accept and I put I go back in here and I go back in here and then I go back in here and I start putting I don't have any more coffins at the moment. If I put 2 or 3 coffins into this zone, only ever 1 dwarf will be buried in this zone. It doesn't matter how many coffins I put in here. only one dwarf per tomb. So you have to go tomb, coffin, tomb, coffin, tomb, coffin, tomb, coffin, and you need to do that a million times. The other thing that you need to do is, let's find one that's like this one. You gotta assign a dwarf to it. Why do I want to assign a dwarf to it? Because it affects their mood. Okay, so if I assign this dwarf to him, I go over here, and I go look at this, modest living room, no tomb. He has no tomb assigned to him. Okay, because he has no tomb assigned to him, some of these people want a tomb that'll raise their happiness. So let's assign a tomb. Oops. I can't assign it if I just click here. I have to click here, click that tomb, then click this, and then I gotta look for Amist, my mayor. Okay, I'm gonna click that guy. And now I'm gonna go back in here, and it didn't. Oh, okay, it did update. So if I move my mouse, I can't point it out, but it's gonna be like right here, and you'll see that now he has a grave. Right here, this guy has no tomb and a meager dining room. He's suffering in the dining room. This guy has a decent study, a decent quarters, a modest study, a modest quarters, but he needs decent, okay, because mine's modest, he's angry, and he needs a decent dining room. Okay, modest does not cut it for this dwarf, so this dwarf will always be less happy because his living standards are higher than what I can provide at the moment. And like I want to go through and look at the value of every single one of these items in his room. Like this coffin's only a value of 10, just to make his room more decent. Complete BS, yes. So there's that. You got to do that for these tombs. But that's not it. When they die, you got to make those tombs, and you got to make their headstones, which you can't put in the same plot. Those got to be outside. So now you got to go make a headstone for each person who dies as well. All right, and that's also down here, furniture. Okay, so let's say if I wanted to place a tomb of Worm, you gotta go in here. You gotta find the tomb. I already know it's in the micro labs, but yeah, make a micro lab. No, I hate this. I hate this. I hate the fact that I have to get him a head tomb, and I have to bury him. Where's my bury? Here. So I have to bury them, and I have to provide a fucking headstone. Why? Can't that be in the same location? I don't know. It's stupid. Fucking stupid. Alright, now let's go over these things, because they suck even more. These really suck. These are called stockpile zones. You have this button. All it is for making stockpiles. But if I click on it, it does nothing. I have to click again to make a stockpile. Okay, if I accidentally click away, no stockpile. Stockpiles are stupid. I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna edit. You notice my edit tools are not here, like they are on this one. If I go over here and I click this and I say edit, here's my edit tools. Where, for the longest time, I didn't realize that my edit tools are down here. So whenever I had to edit a stockpile, I would delete it and remake it, but really, they're down here. Why do I hate stockpiles? Okay, this stockpile, I just put everything because I'm too lazy to do this game proper. What you should do is you should make a stockpile near the things that you're going to use. This is a farm. This is going to use seeds. What do you need to do? You need to create a stockpile near here. You hit accept. You go custom. Let's say I want seeds. I'm going to type in seeds. You notice this went away, but ammo doesn't have any seeds, nor do animal cages, armors, bars, or cloth lines, or whatever. The only thing that has seeds in here is foods. Why they don't get rid of these ones and only get rid of stuff over here? Stupid again. No reason for that. And then I'm going to click the seeds, and then I say I want all the seeds. Yeah. Let's say it's something that's much harder to find. Seeds was an easy example. I want to do buckets. Okay, I want a bucket. Finished goods. All right, coins, furniture, ammos, whatever, furniture. There we go. I finally found buckets. If I turn on buckets, and this is all I do is turn on buckets. Okay, let's go ahead and, oh my gosh, let's delete this. So buckets is on. No buckets will be stored. Now I have to decide what type of buckets. Can the bucket be made out of alabaster, alumni, or ash, or basalt, or chalk? Can the bucket be made out of chalk? I'm just going to say yes. Can the bucket be made out of any of these type of metals? I'm going to say yes. How about these other materials? I'm going to say yes. I just want buckets here, right? And then I go, well, is that enough to get the bucket here? No. Because if the bucket is a standard, well, finely crafted or whatever, it's still not accepted. So I have to accept all the different type of qualities. I'm going to say total quality. Oh, well, what if the bucket's total quality, let's say I had 10 buckets and all the buckets together equal a masterwork, even though they're all standard, then I want those too, right? If you don't have these things collected, let's say I have none, then the total quality that can be in the stockpile is of standard, which is below standard, which is the lowest standard. So it still won't put any in there. So you have to select all again so you can get all these buckets in here. Yeah, this is how atrocious this menu is. And then, let's say I want a step ladder. Okay. Where do I find step ladders? Okay, where do you find step ladders? The answer is you don't. You don't find step ladders. What you find is tools. Other large tools, regular tools, I don't know what it counts as, so I usually just do both. But yeah, it's a tool. A step ladder is a tool. There's lots of things in here that aren't searchable, so you'll never find it. So whatever you want actually stored in here, you won't get. You'll get other things as well. Like here, I want just step ladders. Why would I want step ladders? Because you need step ladders to pick fruit from all these trees. So this is the tree trunk. If I go up a level, you can see the leaves or whatever. And some of these trees have fruits. You can see these little kind of black specks here. Those are either nuts or fruits or whatever. And they need step ladders to get those. So like right here, you can see a step ladder that somebody left as they were plucking these fruit, as they didn't go back and put in a stockpile after they plucked the fruits. So eventually a different dwarf will come over here, grab that, and bring it back to the stockpile, wasting a lot of time and effort, because one dwarf will take it out there, pick some fruit, then leave it, and then another dwarf will go, oh, why isn't that in the stockpile? I'm going to go take it to the stockpile. Whatever. It's BS. So I might just turn this whole area into a stockpile that only accepts tools. I would love it if I could just turn it into a stockpile that only accepts step ladders, so then the step ladders just stay here and they just move it around as they need to get fruit. But you can't really do that in this game because, again, you can't. It's a tool. It's not its own thing. So lots and lots of stupid stuff like that. And I hate searching stuff in these menus, so that's why I just create these giant stockpiles and then create a layer here that's going to use most of that stockpile so they don't have far to go. It's not the most efficient thing, but it's the less mind-numbing stupid thing that you have to do. Okay? And all of these complaints, I could maybe live with if it wasn't for the game being so horribly slow and laggy. So let's go straight down to my deepest floor, which is not very deep on this floor at all. It's not nearly as deep as most people get. They get down to like elevation -1,000. So 0 is supposed to be like sea level. It's my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me. So here we go. Sea level. Okay. This is supposed to be sea level. This is as far down I've gotten. Okay. These are queued steps, not built steps. Yeah. Okay. So we're digging this out. I'm going to unpause this. Okay. I'm going to show you what this game does when it's unpaused. So I'm trying to click. Okay, finally went through. I want them to mine this. I'm clicking. Okay, finally picked up. Now I'm going to click again. Okay, there we go. It went through. Now I'm going to click. Okay, we got it. Okay, I'm going to click. Nope. Come on, game. Oh, there we go. I'm going to click. There we go. Okay, come on. Click. Okay, I want you to smooth this. Okay, I'm going to click. I want you guys to smooth that. Click. Okay. Whew, finally got it. Now, if I pause, I don't have that problem. Okay. If I want to erase this, if I want to click here, I want to click there, no problem. Okay, I'm going to unclick. I'm going to unpause. Okay, so right now, this is just frozen. I'm going to try to click over here. I'm going to give this the highest priority of 1. I'm going to change those to the highest priority. So now my dwarves should value doing this job over any other job. What we do is we're just going to wait 3 years. I have 160 dwarves. All of them are allowed to smooth the surface. This is my highest priority job. They should be rushing to do this now. Okay, the game is not paused. It's going. But they are going to take years to get here. And on top of that, I already scrolled up. It's not moving. Okay, right now the game's... Okay, there we go. It finally caught up. The game is going to be constantly lagging. So I'm going to go to a spot where we can watch it, somebody move. Okay, so we can just see how laggy this is. Okay, that's the pace that they're moving at. Okay, all right, so let's see. Okay, it's frozen again. I'm zooming down, but it's not going. Okay, now if I were to unpause this, I wouldn't have this issue. The reason being is this game is single-threaded. One thread operates this whole freaking game, for as far as I can tell. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit Task Manager. I'm going to hit the performance here. My CPU is only at 6%. Okay. I clicked on the Dwarf Fortress. This game still runs when you minimize, so people still... Let me go find a dwarf real quick, and then I'll minimize, and we can see just how big of a distance he moved. There's faster ways to find dwarves. We'll go to this guy. Okay, so we got some dwarves here. Okay, so we have 2 right here in the stairwell. I'm going to tab off. We're going to look at my performance. Memory, 14%. CPU, 7%. GPU, 23%. GPU 2, 7, okay? It's not trouble with my computer. You notice the dwarf that was in this corner was moved, the 2 dwarfs were in here. They were still moving while it was minimized. Okay, it was a single threaded, it doesn't pause the game or anything when I've minimized. Okay, this is not challenging my computer at all. My computer has no problem, it's way overpowered for a game like this. But yet, the lag is so incredibly slow. Like, I'm clicking this. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to spam click as fast as I can. You can see, okay, there it is. There's when I can click. There's when I can't click. Okay, if I spam this, then if I erase it, oh, there we go. Oh, I clicked too many times because I was waiting for myself to be able to click. This game is extremely choppy, extremely laggy. It is based off how many of these cells you get rid of, okay? You're supposed to be able to get to negative 100 death or something like that before you get to the hells, which is like the fighting end game part of this game, I assume. I've never made it that far. I don't have the patience to wait that many clicks. I don't have the patience to. Okay, come on, trying to erase this. For them to just focus on clearing this. The reason why I clear this big square every time, let me pause it so I can explain that so I don't have to wait for so long. See these little water teardrops? That means these are wet walls. And if I clear that wall, water, we're start looking in. This is water. Okay, this is water wall that canceled the stairs that I was supposed to craft here because they're wet walls. Okay, where do I not have wet walls? Wet walls. Okay, this one wasn't so wet. This one's not so wet. This one not wet. This one luckily wasn't wet there, but it is wet over here. Okay, wet over here. Okay, wet walls. I'm pushing these walls back. Wet walls. I push these walls back. All this mud came from wet walls. Wet walls again. 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 So I was trying to get up here. I gave up. Too many wet walls, too much water. I ended up just blocking it off. Okay. Wet walls again. Okay, this was a freaking pain to clear out. This, wet walls again. Also a freaking pain to clear out. Wet walls again. Every freaking floor. Okay, I tried to clear out this area originally. I was looking for something useful to mine. This ended up all being sand. Okay, and wet walls. I block this off with some floodgates, and when I open it, I get a waterfall that is made just from wet walls. Okay, that's my pain. This mud in here, I got this in here when I was trying to clear out some of these wet walls. I eventually got all these fucking wet walls cleared out all the way to the bottom of the map. Not fun. Not fun at all. Okay, wet walls. See a theme here? Wet walls. Okay. All right. River, wet walls, wet walls, wet walls, wet walls. I hate these wet walls. This game is just plain tedious. The only fun thing about this game is when an invasion happens. I started this game at year 5. Okay, because of the lag and whatnot, I often just AFK and walk away and then come back just to see how far the game's gotten. It's only been 18 years in this game playtime. I've been sieged a total of 4 times. Not enough. It's so boring. I've had like 5 monsters come attack me. Again, boring. I purposely built pretty close to a goblin place so they would attack me. After I built this place, all these buildings popped up in the middle. They weren't there originally. And they started attacking these places, and they took those over instead of attacking me. So I guess I just gotta wait for them. Like these guys that used to be dwarves, they still are, that were conquered by these goblins are now hostile because the goblins control them, have attacked me more often than these goblins have. And they're further away. And they didn't even exist when I first plopped down. It's annoying. Like, I can't say anything good about this game. Oh, you know what? Here, let me complain one more thing. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to look at this guy, and I'm going to find out why he's not happy. Okay, this guy, he's haggard because he's pretty upset. I'm going to go look at his thoughts. You notice that he's lonely. He's lonely. You know why he's lonely? Because he's away from his family for too long. Right? I can't do anything about that. This guy came over here as a immigrant or whatever you call them, settler, whatever, through an event. I could not say no, don't come in. I can't say yes, come in. They come in based on how well you're doing. You can't stop them from coming in. And this guy came without his family. And because he came out without his family, he's one of these angry faces, and he's always angry because of that. I gave him a good bedroom. I gave him other things. I do all these things to try to make him happy. But no, he will never be happy because he's away from his goddamn family. Okay? I've given this guy a bedroom. I've gone through all the angry people. All the angry people got bedrooms first as I was trying to make them happy. Got living room, dining rooms, and other things first. Went through their thoughts, did everything I could do. But because this guy's lonely, because he decided to migrate here without bringing his family, he's just a plague on my thing. I couldn't turn him away. I have no ability to turn him away. When he came, the game just forces you to accept anybody who comes. Yeah, fuck this game. How does why didn't it go? Oh, I guess it was there. How does a game so bad, so atrociously bad, so unoptimized, so many bugs, I've had it crash at least 7 times on me. Menus horrid have overwhelmingly positive reviews. Brownie points, that's all these people want. Let's look at these over positive reviews. I've absolutely roused it 15 years. 15 years and he's only played 51 hours. Okay, I played that many hours just being AFK, waiting for things to happen. In like the less than a week that I bought this game. Okay, after 500 hours, I know how a tavern works. It took this guy 500 hours to get a tavern to work. Okay, my inn works perfectly fine. Okay, first things first, Dwarf Fortress is great. I understand now how people can spend hours on this game, continue to have fun. Just a couple of tips. New player, this is not RimWorld. Okay, I'm already done reading this review. Nothing about the game already. So the actual shocked and impressions quite a bit. I booted it up for the first time, started a new save, and bang! Like, okay, nothing about the game. Dwarves were all over the center of the map. It was so, I was like, cool, I have dwarves. Okay, yeah, there's dwarves in the game. Is that really the only reason giving this a good review? But this ain't anything special. No, fuck, it's not special. Why are you wasting my time? So guess what? I have to start digging a hole. Dwarves, no, oh my gosh. Like, I'm already done reading that review. Played it for free for so long, but playing it for it was worth it for 2 hours. Okay? 2 hours. This is his review. I call BS. I'm so sick of people giving games, companies, restaurants, good reviews just to be fucking nice. Fuck you people.